I'm glad he made it in here. I didn't have to do that, but maybe I'll still do that in the future. Oh, I didn't turn off the welders. I just welded myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some Space Engineers on the Nidd whitelist server. So, today, we've done some work. And yeah, Mir has done some fantastic job with the server. Actually, that goes to a comment. I will do that right away here with Elemental Blaze 79 mentioned that cargo ships were despawning again, and they caused a lot of trouble in his world. And they actually were causing some trouble here too. So thank you very much for that. Mir has done a ton of work collecting and getting rid of objects and all this kind of stuff. So our sim speed now is right back up. Well, it's 9.3 at the moment. One, there we go. But generally I've been getting one again, and I'm flying around pretty decently. So yeah, so this is as you've seen it before. I have been doing a bunch of work since the last episode with Boris, working inside of here. So we started to hollow things out in here in the last episode, right? Or the last solo episode, we drilled the line from here all the way into there, and from over there all the way into there. So that's still going on. But I've done a bunch more work here. I've kind of removed some stuff down here and added in a connector bit here so that I can attach a ship and load stuff up from outside to inside. That might be temporary, it might not be, we'll see. We will come on in here and you'll see that I have done a bunch of hollowing out and a bunch of work. And that's a new ship over there. I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's the good old critter. He had a little bit of an accident. I don't know what happened to him, but you'll notice that his butt is missing. So we had a medium cargo container and a connector on the back here. I came in, I logged in another day, and that was just all gone, and it looks like it blew off in some way, so I'm not sure exactly what happened there. So I just threw thruster on the back of that just to get it moving again and out of the way, but I'm using it as lighting source at the moment. And Visible Signs said that he gave me a reminder on the history of the movie Critters, which I named this guy after, that it was that they were critters were actually escaped criminals from space. So it's really appropriate, I think. So that's super awesome. Yeah, so if we go head on over here, this guy over here is a new drilling ship that I built because the critter, well, it worked for, actually it was pretty good for making like tunnels, just making person-sized tunnels. But it was definitely slow in trying to mine out the rest of this. So I built this guy. So he is just a drilling bot, right? That has 4 drills on the front, 4 drills on the back. It is a, there's no place to sit in it. It's just a drone. So I remote control him. He's got a camera on the front and the camera on the back, and I just popped him one. But yeah, I have him sitting in the back here again as lighting. So let's just pop him back. Oop, there we go. So yeah, he's got a bit of a design. I don't know, I think he looks pretty good. But yeah, basically I was just using him to go in here. I'd line him up with the line here and I just go straight through. It's like, right, and then back over the other side, and then over a bit and then back, and then over a bit and back. And I drilled out quite a bit with him. I actually filled him up completely with ore, with iron ore. So every single crate in here, like all of the small containers and all of the medium containers in the middle, and you see there's still some leftover stuff in here that I haven't emptied them out completely yet, but he was completely full with iron. And I used that trick. Oh, and I'm so sorry, I totally forgot who made this suggestion, but using the small containers instead of the conveyors for drilling ships, so you have more storage. And I love that idea. So I use that on here as well. You'll notice that it's all over the place. Like all of those are small containers all the way around there, and also on the bottom, same deal. And I did a little bit of you know putting some stuff on to make it look all right and a little bit better. I don't know, I think he looks pretty cool. I like him. And so yeah, so that's the mole. Moldy mole. Sorry. I'm sure some people will get that reference. So we have the critter for making tunnels, and we have the mole for making, just clearing things out. And then, when I filled that guy up, I just kind of like, I've got a ton of iron. So I've just been right clicking through, other parts to clear out some more stuff. And then you guys know this guy down here is the driller, or sorry, the welder grinder bot. Now he was a little bit big to get in, but he did fit through that hole, which was cool. And so this is kind of like the entranceway that I've been building out so far. I actually had a completely different design for this, but it didn't work out at all. And I'm going to complain once more about not having compound building like they do in Medieval Engineers. But originally I had this up a level, and it was right in here, and I had the glass on top, but of course the glass on top had to be a block level up. And then I ran into, like, I disconnected a block, one block in the wrong spot somewhere, and then things all became different grids, and I had to like tear everything down and rebuild. So that was really fun. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, now that I moved it down one, and I'll put it right in here so that the glass will be here that you walk on, right, as you go through. And then I'm going to do something to spiffy this up a bit. So I've got some lights in here. Maybe I'll put some like interior walls on the side, or who knows, I'll do some other things. Actually, we just had a conversation. I was talking with Boris and Sal about that we might be adding some mods on here, and I know he definitely wants some decoration mods, so that, you know, like better like seats and you know, computer panels and stuff of that nature. Stuff for you know, making living rooms and all that kind of jazz, like we were doing in the last server. We're going to be very careful though about what we do and what we add. But anyhow, we should get on to what we're going to do in this episode. So I want to start adding some working machines in here. So you can see I've kind of laid out a little bit. So we've got the assemblers here and a refinery here. And my plan is where all of these sorting blocks are here, I'm going to repeat this all the way down. And I'm going to repeat it all the way down here. And I'm also going to repeat it all the way down the other end. And the reason for this is that this thing is a construction base, right? Like, people will show up with maybe just a bunch of unrefined ore, or maybe they'll show up with a bunch of ingots, or maybe they'll show up with a bunch of components, but who knows? This base needs to be somewhere where you can come, drop off a ship, unload everything into the system, and it can really quickly turn everything into what it needs to actually build, right? Because one of the thoughts I had was, if there's a tug pulling through here, and it's going at a certain speed, and it runs out of resources, like, you've given it more than enough resources, but it hasn't converted them correctly yet, it'll pull it through, and you're gonna have missing pieces, right? So this thing needs to be really fast and efficient. So I'm gonna add a whole whack. So there's gonna be 20, I think, yeah, like, I think there's gonna be 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 10 on each side. There'll be 20 assemblers, all on collaborative mode, and there will be 10 refineries in here. And I'm going to have each refinery dedicated to a different ore. There's 10 ores in the game, so they'll each get their own refinery, and away it'll go. That way there should always be ingots being produced for what these assemblers need, and the assemblers will be working together on whatever you need, and try and build it all out, right? So that's the start of that anyway. The way that I want this to work right now is what I'm going to try and do in this episode is just kind of replace the that guy over there. So my goal at the end of this is that I can tear this whole thing apart and get rid of it, because we don't need it over here anymore. Just tear it all down when the first few things are done in here. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of how this is going to look, I'm going to do just the one on this side and maybe also the one on this side, and it'll just be repeated all the way down. But the basic plan is there'll be some way of getting the resources from the front all the way into these. Now they're going to be filled from the top with sorter blocks, and so all of the refineries will be filled from the top with sorter blocks, and then they will be brought out from below here. Let's see if I can get underneath. There, get right. Let's just make our way in, because we're gonna have to get down here a couple of times. But yeah, so they're all gonna be connected underneath here with the blocks, and we have these 2 cargo containers right here. So this one is gonna be a cargo container filled with refined ingots, and this is gonna be a cargo container filled with refined components, or refined components, built components. So both of these systems will empty from the bottom to this and empty from the bottom to this, and they will be filled from the top along here into those, and also from the top along into those. So let's get started building this thing out. Also I should probably mention that David Aguirre, when we were I think it was like way over over there, if I bring up my Anubis Raider, so yeah, way over there. So where we were in the last episode, way over there, and I'm not going to fly all the way over there this time because it does take quite a while to get 20,000 meters away. But is it? You can kind of still, yeah. So it's that right there in the center of the screen. So David Aguirre was saying that we should actually make the mouth, the hangar doors where the fighters come out of. I think that's an awesome idea, and also to put like laser eyes for like weapon laser eyes. And now maybe since we're talking about mods, maybe there will be something for that. But I don't know if we're gonna get into functional mods, more kind of like just the decorative ones, because again, we're really worried about sim speed and lag and performance problems. But yeah, that would be super awesome. So I was thinking, if we don't have anything like actual weapons to shoot out like that, could put in those laser antennas for eyes and have like some satellites going around them so that the eyes are moving around and looking about whenever we get over to doing some work on that base out there. Oh, and Matthew Ritchie also said that we should use airtight hangar doors for teeth, right? So if we're gonna have the mouth as the hangar, then we should have some airtight hangar doors as the teeth. And I think that's a great idea. So when we do get over to working on that base, I do want to try and get this thing wrapped up first, but maybe we'll go over there and make a little base out of that head at some point in the near future. So this is really coming along now, though. Like, I think once we get the refining and everything happening in here, the next thing is down this way, I need to have like a reception area. So we're running out of space, though. So like this is the limit. I'm not going to drill into that. So it's just this iron. So I'm thinking like you come in the front here, and then I can make a little reception area right here. Drill out on both sides here, make a little like reception area. I do want to close this off, so this will be like a walkway right through out to the other side. I'll close them off so that there's walls, maybe some windows and stuff to look in, but it'll be just a straight walkway. You'll come in the middle, be a reception area, you walk straight through to here, right? And then out here is going to be the observation deck. So we're going to do some work out here to make this a big glassed area where you can come in and sit and watch your ship getting built. But that's basically it. We'll have the observation area here. We will have the massive refining area and building area here. We'll have a little reception area up front here and a dock, like a landing bay for people right along the front, right? So that people can dock their ships. But I think that'll do it for this base, right? And so we're getting close to actually having something functional. The next thing that I want to do, though, is just kind of get this thing going. So if I go find this guy over here, let's just build these two things out, and I'll show you what this is going to look like. So if I turn on this is why I brought this guy. Actually was extremely helpful bringing him in here to do some work. I actually was considering making like 2 separate ships, or because this guy it's actually pretty big. There we go. He's actually really big with the like the doubles everywhere, right? It's hard to kind of get into smaller places, but he did make it in, so I kind of left it. I was thinking maybe just moving it down so there was just one grinder, one welder on the same line as the cockpit. But yeah, so I'm glad he made it in here. I didn't have to do that, but maybe I'll still do that in the future. Oh, I didn't turn off the welders. I just welded myself. And we need to turn off. Okay, let's go up to the top. I'm really good at that, actually. Really good at welding myself constantly. All right, so here is our refinery. Those things are hooked up with so this is right underneath this one, right, is where the sorter block goes. And there's a sorter block underneath that one. Now the next thing that we need to do on these is put on, so what's this one? This is the productivity module is what makes things work faster. So that's gonna go onto these. Now I did it purposely like this because I think this looks really cool. So I don't know if I want it to be black like that though. Oh, you might notice too the colors. I have been starting to use a bit of color. So I made a, there's my dead body. I made a bronze color for all of the piping, right? So, and I thought that these would be, you know, a dark color maybe is good for those, but then for the actual bits that we attach here, I don't know, blue is good for oxygen maybe. I'm not sure what color to use for this stuff here. Let's just go with maybe a white for now. And then I can change this later. But, oh, what do we need? Let's put these on here. We'll do this all the way around. I think this, like when we have a whole line of this, I think this is going to look super cool. And this also means that these things will really build fast, right? Like these will be super efficient, like as efficient as they could be, I guess, right? Because we've got them on every single side that can get these things. I don't know if this is overkill or not, but no, like a lot of the things I do are overkill, but they look cool in the end, I hope. And the other one was the effectiveness module, right? And the effectiveness module is the one for producing more ingots from ore. I wonder actually for these ones if we should do like some effectiveness, right? So if I go 2 of those and then also some speed ones. I don't know if that's a good idea, because again, this is about trying to make sure that we keep up with demand, right? So if I put some productivity modules on there as well. So if we put, oh, there we go. Maybe we should do that, right? Where we put in you know, a couple productivity and a couple effectiveness on there, so that they're quick, but they also give you more yield. And then these guys are just super quick. So let's see what that looks like if we weld that up. Hopefully I've got enough resources in this guy do all this. Boop, boop, boop. And I probably locked myself in now. I don't know if I can get out. Okay, so here they are all welded up. And I think I like the way that looks. I think that looks pretty freaking cool. And then here's this guy with all his stuff welded up. Let's get rid of some of this so I can see around. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. So it's got some productivity and some effectiveness on those, and then it's got a whole whack of effectiveness on these guys. Now the way that this is going to hook up is we're going to put, so we don't need these in my hotbar now just to get this, but we do need some sorter blocks, and we need some conveyor blocks to kind of hook things up now, right? So now these go in on top, so I'm going to put a sorter block going into the interior plates. I put those away because I actually couldn't get this guy out. He is stuck, so I'm going to need a smaller guy to work inside. This is good for outside. Let's grab just some of those as well, so we have some things on us. But yeah, so we want to put him going down into this. And oh, these are conveyors, so we should be using the bronze color. Alright, so we'll just, these sorters will go down into here. Now these will be the ones that, you know, define, oh, we need construction components. Define what, and yes, I'm going into a welding machine to pull out stuff so that I can weld things manually, but my welder's too fat. I can't get in here. But yeah, so like these will go on the top, and we have the ones going out the bottom. Now we don't necessarily need, for these ones, we don't necessarily need the sorter blocks, right? Because they're going to be just taking everything. But I figured I'll add them anyway so that things go in this way and out this way, because I do want the lines to be one-way lines, right? And I don't want things going around in circles like crazy. So I'll add them for that reason, as well as for if we do want to, you know, define how things work in the future, we can. So we're going to add those on like that. Now they can be annoying sometimes as well. And that has to be this color. And then we also need a like conveyor block. Arg, I used everything. All right, so here we are, conveyor block on the, oh, that was upside down. I really don't understand the new defaults for these things. I noticed that like they always go in upside down now by default. Conveyor. There, so we'll put a conveyor block up there, and then we'll have to do the same thing over here. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Now I have floaty bits. Oh, and I think I just wrecked that. No, okay. 6. Oh, and I did that upside down as well because it doesn't remember the orientation anymore again. There we go. So So yeah, so those will be on the top like that. And then we want to, like, I'm gonna run these guys back, right, like this, between the more of them that come back here. So these will be running back like this. I'll have to do some more mining and stuff, right? But yeah, those will come back like that. So the top will all be connected up. But right now, all I need to do is I'm gonna basically have this guy coming in down here. I'm just gonna do one round of this first, and then show you how this is all gonna work, and then we will. I'll do the rest of the line off camera, right? So if I have this coming out here, I'm gonna want, so that's the sorter block, and I'm gonna want the this coming out like that, and this one coming down. And then this will probably need to be one of these conveyors again, right? So that we can actually connect the line down that way as well. Let's see if I have enough to actually finish this one off down here. Looks like it, yeah. So that now connects to this, and the sorter block can do the pull, right? So that stuff gets automatically pulled out. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, let me out. Like so. So yeah, so those will come out into that crate on that side as well. They'll come out into this crate. And then basically what I'm going to want to do now is I want them to come out of this crate and then go into this one, right? So it'll have to come from the top. But I think what I'll do is I'll run a line underneath. So let's go back underneath here. And I'm just going to drill out a bit under here so that we can get around. But yeah, like my idea now is that, so these guys need to feed off. So I'm going to, and they got to go both ways. Now this is the part that I was worried about. I put two here just in case, but it looks like I'm going to have to put like a conveyor here, right? And then kind of like these going off this way and these going off this way to run down to the other line. And I will have to leave this open and do the same thing on the front then. To go that way, I'll do it on the front of this one. Or sorry, this one actually comes out the front into those. So that's fine. I think that's fine. We'll see. But yeah, so this would basically run all the way down. But for now, what I'm going to do just to get it working, so I'll just run it a little bit and then just come up through the floor and connect it to the top. But ultimately, it'll run all the way down to the end and come up through the bottom of the floor, and then hook into the top of the first assembler here, right? So it'll run out, come out, and then drop into this one. And then those will get fed going forward all the way down to these. Same with this guy here, right? So I need to have a line that comes from the front through into here, and then runs down underneath the ground all the way to the back into the top of those, and then comes back. And I'll do that on both sides. So that's the plan. So let me finish kind of like hooking this all up, and then we'll see what it looks like. I will be right back. All right, so here's the basics of it anyway. So I've got, so this would be coming out here, and then it would have to run, all the way along as well. But eventually it'll come back up, and I don't know, maybe it'll either run underneath this, right, or down the sides or something, but out to the front where we're gonna have the hooks for the ships. But yeah, so that'll run like that. So it'll come in through the top of here, come all the way through, do its work, come down into here, into this guy. Oh, I have the wrong color on some of these. I'll have to fix that. Then out this way, all the way down to the back, right? Now for demonstration purposes, I just ran it right up through the floor. This will not come out through the middle of the floor like this in the future. It'll come up way at the back there, but this will come up, right, and then connect into these, right? So now that cargo container hooks into these, and then this guy goes down and hooks into this one, right? Oh, I haven't actually done that, but that's I totally forgot about that. But that's how that will work as well. Like it'll come out right there underneath this one and into this cargo container, and then this one feeds out into all of the welders. So that's the basic premise here. So I'm going to do more work off camera, and I'll try and get like this whole thing kind of built out. So in the beginning of the next episode, you'll see this whole thing kind of finished up, and then we'll start working on maybe how to hook it up through the front, right? One last thing that I want to mention before I wrap this up is that I had a couple of comments. So in the last episode, David Aguirre also made a comment on the whole Igor conversation that Boris and I had. We were just joking. Like we're not going to invite people in to be our personal slaves. That's just not right. But we do want to make sure that there's opportunities for you guys to do more stuff with us. This is, you know, the whitelist server for the NiddTubers is what they're called, or what we call ourselves, I guess. But we do events every month, and we're really trying to get some Space Engineers events going again. So if one of those comes along the way, then we will definitely make an announcement video for that, and you guys can get involved. So like something like road grab, or you know, survival games, or some kind of a building event. We're definitely going to try and do that in the future. So we're not exactly sure when or how that's going to happen yet, but we are looking at it and thinking about it, and you guys are all more than welcome to join us for that kind of stuff. We encourage you, actually want you there. I'd love to play with you guys that all comment and talk with me about these episodes. The other thing too is that this server is a Nidd whitelist server, and I think it was Cameron Bennett also asked if there was any way to join this server itself, right? So it kind of relates to the whole Igor chat as well. But so this one is just for the YouTubers of our group. And there is an application form. If you want to become a NiddTuber, there is an application form on the nidd.com website. So you can go there, check it out, read what it says, be thorough in your response. We do take it seriously. So you know, if you really are interested, then let us know, you know, all of the things that we ask for in there. But it is for YouTubing purposes, right? And there's a reason for that. This is, you know, we're a bunch of people that on this server, you know, we're not exactly the easiest people to play with, because, you know, it's like, you know, you can't go over here, can't look at this stuff because it's, you know, spoilers. You can't. There's just lots of silly rules and stuff that make sense for this type of play, but not for just normal everyday gameplay. So that's what that's all about with the whitelist server. But thank you for your interest, and yeah, definitely Camden, go check out the forum as well for any events that are currently being planned, and for any new events. You're actually more than welcome to, you know, get your own event planned as well, right? So start a thread. If you get enough interest, people will back you, and we'll turn it into an actual event, and people can come and join. So check out the forums. There'll be a link in the description for the forums. There'll be a link in the description for the Nidd whitelist server application thing if you're interested in that. There is also a link in the description to a video about the what is it? We used to have a public Space Engineers server. Well, it's still there actually. So and there's descriptions in the forums about how to get to it and all that jazz. But it's not really used all that much right now, and there's not a whole lot of support for it. So there's a video that Boris put out talking about that. If you want to support that type of a thing being restarted, then let us know. So all those links are in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to seeing how this comes out. If you enjoyed this, please give me a like. That's how I know that you guys actually like what we're doing and you want more of it. And please comment, and I would love to hear from you. So I will talk to you in the next episode. Goodbye.